Well, here we are starting a new project for a very special friend of mine, Sergio, and this is the official unboxing. We have not looked at this guitar yet. We're just getting ready to take a peek and see how this presents itself. Um, it just arrived yesterday, actually. I'm a little slow on the liftoff. But anyway, we're going to open up the box. We're going to take a look inside the box and see what needs to be done. We're going to set up this guitar for Sergio. So let's open her up. Nicely wrapped. This is a nylon string guitar. Oh, nice wood. Brazilian flame, made by Córdoba. I don't know how well you can see that, but the wood is gorgeous. It's floating around here. I don't know what. What's the wiring? It's all loose in there. It shouldn't be. It should be sticking out through a hole. I don't even see any hole. We may have an issue right out of the box. It's incredible. They put the place for the pickup, and then the electronics, the tuner and stuff, has never been installed. We'll have to go back and take another look and see what they're saying here. Well, there's the Córdoba. This is a beautiful guitar. It's exactly what I was looking for Sergio. We're going to do a few things with this. The action's a little high. We're going to lower the action here at the bridge. We'll bring that down. We're going to change the strings because these have been on here since it was built, and they're a little pitted anyway. Not that they're not usable for a while, but I got a different style of string I want to go with. The headstock is gorgeous. We got some inlays we're going to do. This is what we were waiting for. All right, we're back in action again here with the Córdoba for Sergio. And what I did already, I just had checked the neck for straightness, and there was a bow, okay? So what I did is I took a truss rod wrench, put it in here, we turned it righty-tighty, and we took the bow out. So now the neck is perfectly flat, but the action is still quite high. So what I'm going to do is take the bone out and shave it down. So what I'm doing right now is loosening the strings so that we can get the nut out and shave it, okay? I'm going to take it out, mark it with a pencil before I remove it, and make this lower. So we got an automatic spinner. I'm on the last string now. Sorry, I forgot about filming. I was going to do this, and then I forgot it. Because I got a memory that's nothing to write home about. All right, so all the strings are loose. So let's see if we can make room enough here to get the nut out on this end. But the first thing we want to do is get a pencil, and we're going to mark it so we know the height it's at right now. And then we're going to make another mark to show us how much we want to trim off. So let's move you guys down this end, and we'll get a bit of a close-up here, if we can. And then all I'm going to do is make a mark right on the top here with a pencil that shows me the height right now of the nut. Okay? And then I'll make a measurement from that when I remove it to make a decision as to how much I want to take off to lower it down. I need to take off about, well, half the height of what's there, I think, roughly. Alright, so that's coming up fairly easy. I think the strings are loose enough to make this happen without having to take it all the way out. And that's true. Now underneath there, there's the electric, the piezo pickup is underneath here. That's what that metal wire is. That picks up the sound and transfers it to the transducer. It's a piezo, I think is the way you pronounce it. So now we've got this big chunk of nut that's in there. And I want to take off, I think, about half of that height. So I'm going to make a second pencil mark with a ruler and bring it down to the grinder and do this quick and easy with a grinder. So the next thing I got to do is get a ruler. I need a straight edge so I can mark this where I want to take it off. Alright, so here's a ruler. So we want to make a mark on each side, whoa, as to what we're going to take off. First we want to get it to stop spinning, that's the bottom. So, we'll stick a finger there, and we're going to make a mark about there, and we're going to make a mark about there, and then we're going to make a straight line, I hope. I can get this thing not to fly around. So I got something to aim at with the grinder, so I know what I'm taking off. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does to somebody. Now this is moving all over the place, so it's just a rough reference line. Is that any good? Yeah, it'll have to do, I guess. So the next thing we're going to do is go downstairs and take that. This is a bone nut too, by the way, which is nice. Some of them are plastic, and the plastic ones really suck. But this is bone, so we're going to go take downstairs. Here's the grinding wheel, and I use the side of the grinding wheel, and I'm going to hold on to it with an instrument so that I don't melt my fingers down while I'm doing this. So we're going to turn this on. It's going to make a bit of noise. You can hear beep, beep, beep in the background. It means my water system needs attention. Now, if you were with me, you'd smell the bone burning as we grind this down. Keep an eye on the pencil line. I'm going to bring this down even. Make sure it's flat. We'll take a quick peek. We're doing okay. Now the reason we left the strings on there and I didn't take them all the way off is because I can use them for the trial. Because I'm going to bring this back upstairs and try it. I'm going to grind down a fair amount of this, not right down to the line, but a little bit above, so that I can get it right the way I want it. If you overgrind it, then you got to start trying to come back the other way with a skim, and you kind of screwed yourself. So all you want to do is bring this down close to where I want it to be. I'm a little crooked, so let's see if we can flatten it out. And I think that looks pretty good. Now, I've taken it down to just a little bit above where the line is, okay? And we'll take it upstairs and do a fit and see if it works. We're back from downstairs. We've done some grinding. We've got the, we got it down to just about where we want it to be. I'm going to put this back in underneath, and then I'm going to tighten up the strings and see how the action is now that we've knocked that down. Is tighten up the strings and see how the action is. So we're going to go back up to the other end, and then we'll check the string height. The string height was very high. It was about 6-7 millimeters. Is that right? Yeah. I got a string gauge. Where are you? Right there, string gauge. See the string gauge? We should be at about the 4, and these are currently at about the 7. This shows you the height of the string. So we'll check that with that after we tighten this up again. So the first thing we're going to do is get the tuning back. We can get an initial view, sort of a quick shot with a quarter, and see if that puts us in the ballpark. Oh, we're pretty close. So that may be perfectly fine. So let's, because you want to do this and not end up with any buzz in the strings at all. So I'm going to finish tuning this up, and I'll be right back. So we've made that nice adjustment, and we're here at the 12th fret, and the action shows to be right around 4. It might be just a little high, but I wouldn't muck with it any more than that. So if we do that, and we look at the way the string height is, we get the light out of the way, I think you can see we're right around 4. Just a little strong 4. Between 3 and 4 is a good starting height. We're close to 4, and I think that's good enough for now. We don't have any buzzing. The action is in a good place. We got the neck straight now. Where's the truss rod? Not truss rod, the straight neck. The neck checker. Oops. Are we in the right thing? No, we're upside down. Let's put this down and see how this looks. Because now we got the neck under tension and we're in the wrong place. So let's flip this over again and see. There we are. Okay, now if you look down that neck, you can see it's straight. And that's the way, just the way it should be. There's no gaps in there coming down at all. It's perfect. That's a fine job, even if I say so myself. We got no buzz. No buzz. Perfect. You can't get any better than that. You can, maybe you can, but there's no need to. We're where we need to be. We've got the setup good. Okay, so we've done with the official part of setting up this guitar. Okay, now so that everything works the way it should. Now this is a lovely guitar, lovely. Now we're going to change the strings. We're going to take these guys off, and we're going to go with some of the aesthetics and try to add some cuteness to the guitar and make it lovable. And then we'll probably put some gold strap buttons in case they ever want to put a guitar strap on. Most of the time people play these sitting, but it's good to have the option, and it's no big deal to do. I got plenty of them, and we'll do it without doing any damage to the guitar, and we'll move on. So I think I may pick this up tomorrow. I'm getting a little pooped. We had the wrong guitar sent to us. We had to back up on our plan, our time, to do this work, and now we're caught up. And this is Monday evening now, and we will get back to this on Tuesday morning. Okie dokie, see you soon. Well, here we are, we're back in tomorrow, and we're going to get back on fixing things up. So the strings are going to come off, and I checked the string height, and it's still a little high, higher than I'd like it to be. Okay, so what I'm going to do while I got the strings off anyway, I'm going to take the bone down and grind it down a little bit more and get the action just a little bit lower still than what it is, and I think it'll be fine. So that's the next thing we're up to right now, and in order to do that, then we're going to start dressing up this guitar a little bit. So to do that, first we're going to take the strings off again, and I think this time we're just going to take them all the way off, and we'll take the bone back downstairs and grind it down again. And then we'll be back. So hang tough. All right, so we took it back downstairs again. We put the old strings back on again because I didn't take them off. We ground the saddle down again, and now the string height is right about 4, which is right where we want it to be. So at the 12th fret, we're right about 4. I don't know if you can see that or not. You probably can't with the camera, but trust me on this, we've lowered the action to where it should be. It plays nice and smooth. We've got no buzz. So with the action lowered and the string height right, it makes playing this guitar extremely easy. Nice, very nice. Okay, so now we're going to take the strings off again and get into some of the cosmetics. All right, so there's one more thing we're going to do before we start doing some aesthetics, is we're going to give the frets are a little dull, so we can use a sanding block and shine them up. We'll cheat a little bit and get them all nice and shiny. Simple, easy peasy. Doesn't do any damage to the fretboard because this is all riding on the frets, and it's a nice fine-grained sanding block. We'll get all that dull brass look off of the tuners, off the frets. So the next thing we'll do is we'll grab the little vacuum cleaner and we'll suck all those metal particles off and get rid of that. So now I think you can see the difference is the frets are nice and shiny and clean, and all the dull brass is now gone. We'll give it a wipe down here on the board. We'll clean up back here on the body a little bit with just a dry cloth. We'll polish it up a bit by hand. We have dropped down the level of not the bridge. Okay, we got the action down nice and low now. So the playability is terrific. Now, the next thing we need to look into is what the heck are we going to do to dress this up a little bit. I've got a few different choices of what I'm going to do, and I'm not sure exactly yet what I'm going to do. I've got a rose sequence that we can use. I have a small white rose we could do for headstock. This is something we might be able to lay on the side. These flowers we might be able to place on the neck. We have a real flourish of a headstock or a side piece, perhaps over there. Those I don't think. And then this one is a hummingbird that we may be able to add, but we don't want to go crazy. And this is an oriental flavor. And this comes in multi-segments and could be placed like that on the fingerboard, you know, with that character, and maybe with the roses, and maybe with the face mask on the headstock, or even the flowers could be up on the headstock. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards being a little bit more modest. I think the hummingbird is too much. The rose is kind of nice, but it's a little big. I'm not sure I like that. I do like these flowers there for the fretboard. So I think we're going to go with them. Now there's this nice little hummingbird piece, but I think it's too big to be a headstock piece. I don't think it can make it. No, it's too big. So that's out of the game. So if we do those flowers down the board, we may be able to use this rose or flower cluster as a headstock piece, or maybe the mask. I don't know, maybe the mask. We'll have to think about this, but this is for sure. Or we could do the rose. There's a nice little white rose here that I think would fit on the headstock just fine. If we take a look up here, if you'll join me on the headstock. Pretty sure. See, there's the rose, and that would sit like that. And that could be very nice. I'm pretty sure we could put it at an angle and come across. And as a matter of fact, I think that's where we'll start. So, now we're back at the headstock, and we're going to try to place the rose up here as a headstock favorite. Let's clean this off. Make sure there's no oil or fingerprints or anything mucking up the surface on our way down. I think that's where we're going to lay it. It's right there, just like that. Now, where's Alice? Let's get Alice and press her into service to put the rose down. And we'll see if we can peel this back. Oh, this is a tough one. This is going to be a tough one to stick down, huh? It's looking good. So far, so good. Wow, is this a sticky? They use an industrial strength glue to hold that down. Now we're going to sort of press it in place here with the Alice pick. And that's going to be our headstock design. is going to be the rose, the white rose. Nice. I like that. What do you think? It's too late now, it's done. You can always remove these. You can always peel them off. They're not laid down with heavy duty stick up. There's something that can be changed later if you change your mind. And now we've got to look at the flower here. I think this goes this way, now that I look at it. See where this fits. I think it's going to fit right about there. So we're going to start up here and work our way down. We'll give this a rub with the pick to get the decals to stick to the upper surface of the clear so that you can break them away and place them nicely. So we're going to start there on the 2nd fret and work our way down. And there's no fret dots to cover here either, so that makes this a little simpler. We can literally place it where we would like it to be, and we don't have to worry about lining up dots. So that's pretty good. So let's cut away right to the edge, because this is still going to go up right up against the fret. Where are we? We're only half-assed in the picture, huh? So that's going to go up like that. Then that's going to meet it there. And then this is going to meet it over here. Maybe we should go down a few and start with the biggest piece where that's going to lay. And then we'll build the rest of it around that. I think that's probably a good idea. So we'll cut all this excess away and get very close to the actual decal, because we want to be very close to the fret so we can see the alignment like that. So I think that's the place to start. Maybe we'll cut them all up first and get in the mood. See how that comes together. All right, so we'll be back in a moment when we get ready to place it. All right, so here we go. Let's start with the big one, because that's going to give us the most bang for our buck. We peel the back away from the front. Make sure we got everything clean here. We do. So now we're going to begin with this about there. Then we'll take the next one up and put it down. And then we'll work our way up and then finish off the top. Oops. Finish off the top with a lack of cooperation. Here we go. Now it's free. Thank God Almighty. There we go. That's going to be there. That's going to be there. And that's going to be there. All right, so I'm going to finish peeling these away and we'll be right back. So we're back again. We got the fingerboard all done. I think that looks very nice. Not too much. We got the nice rose up top. That looks good. I think it's tasteful. And then the fingerboard I think is tasteful. I got one more place I'm thinking about putting something is right here. and I don't want to overdo it. I want to kind of understate it, if you will. So we're going to look at a couple of things. Now we got the rose, but it's a different color and it's very large. I think it's a little too pushy. The other thing we have is a hummingbird, which is pretty, but it's sort of outside of the motif. And then we've got this little flower flourish that I think lends itself. It's got a hummingbird built into it also. And the hummingbird is for good luck. And I think that's what we will do, is add the hummy to go with the flowers of how that would present. I think that'll do pretty good. Are you with me? All right, so let's clean off the surface here a little bit and get as much shiny stuff down as we can so that this will stick better to the surface and not be disrupted. Let's get Alice and give this a bit of a rub so it'll stay. If I was going around something close, the corners, I'd cut this out to the exact shape of what it is. But this is going to lay kind of out here in the frontier of the guitar. And I can maneuver it with the whole piece together. I'll let it hover and kind of see how I want it to place. I think that's kind of about what I'm thinking. And I think that'll blend fairly well. We'll get Alice in here to do a little job. Alice is the pick. This is an Alice pick. It's on the floor right now. But anyway, what Alice is a medium stiff pick that's good for rubbing these things down so that they make good contact when you're getting ready to release them. So if you rub it when you got the surface stuff still on there, you can rub it pretty hard and not worry about dragging up an edge. So we're going to peel this straight back. Try not to lift up. We want to go straight over the top. That way you don't tend to pull up any of your fretboard decal. Just like that. That went nice. Got an A for that one. That was very good. Now we'll just gently sort of reinforce that pressure to put this down nice and smooth. And that should tend not to lift anywhere at all. But that's cute. I think that's very cute. And that's what we're going to do for embellishments. I think we're done. Anything else is gilding the lily. You want to dress it up, not schmuck it up. So there's our finished guitar. We're going to clean up the body with a little bit of shine while we got everything still off. I got a little bit of polish that we'll use to put some polish down. McGuire's Quick Wax. It's good on these things. Nice. Okay? Oh, we still got to do one other thing, a bit of hardware installation. I forgot. We're going to add gold, because the hardware up top is gold. Strap buttons. We're going to put one on this side and one down the bottom here. We're going to drill a hole for each of those and place them. All right, so that's next on the agenda. Let's move down to the bottom and we'll show you where we're going to go. Now there's a stripe here that's dead center in the back. So we're going to place a dead center in the middle right there. So I need to get a drill, and then these gold buttons are going to go there. Well, one of them is, not both of them. You have to have the strap around your neck. So we'll be right back when we get ready for that. All right, so we've chosen a nice little drill bit. It's my extra super deluxe magic light. So we're going to go right about there, dead center. And we're going to drill right in. Oop. So all the way through the cavity. Pull this back out. And then we'll get a screwdriver tip. Right here. Get all that crap out of the way. And then we'll get the gold button screw. And we'll leave that right up in there. So that's nice and tight and snug. Perfect. And this one we're going to drill very carefully. We don't want to go too far in there. Then we're going to get our screwdriver back, and then we've got to assemble, not throw it on the floor, but we need to assemble the strap button. So we'll put that down there. Oops. Now we've got to stabilize the guitar so it doesn't walk away on us. All I want to do is catch one thread, like that. Straighten this up. All right, now that's good and tight. So that'll hold solidly and not break anything. So we've got two, you don't see that, Joe? Yes, you do. There we are. There's our button placed. So we'll be back in a minute. All right, so now we've got all our work done. We're going to do a final cleaning, and then we're going to put on the strings. These are nylon strings from Diodario. These are silver wound with black nylon. I like these strings a lot. I've used them on a couple of others. They're classical ball end. It means it's a simple installation. But first, we're going to clean up. We're going to polish up. We're going to get the guitar all shiny again, like it was when it came in the door. Oh, and there's another surprise that happened. What to our wondering eyes should appear on the front steps? Another guitar to play with later. Cool. We're very busy here at the shop. We've got another little 6-string ukulele over there I'm going to set up. One thing at a time. So first we're going to finish up on fifth. Now we're on the back of the guitar. This is looking pretty cute. This wood is nice. We're going to hit it with some nice spray wax. We're going to shine it up with a piece of cheesecloth first. And then we'll do the final buff with a piece of microfiber cloth, which does a really, really good job of making it shine. I don't know what happened. Everything fell over there all of a sudden. We're going to do the headstock up here too, which I didn't do before actually. So we're going to clean this up. Okay. And then we're going to go back to the other side and hit this with some nice microfiber cloth. You see this now? You're not even in the game. This microfiber cloth cleans, polishes without leaving a trace. It's really nice. I mean, they're really nice rags. Hell of a good rag. Cute. Very, very pretty. And I want to hit this neck one more time and get that all clean and shiny. How are we doing? We in the view? We're in the view. Okay, so that's that. What pretty wood. Jeez, this is nice looking wood. So that's the cleanup. So now we're ready to go string it. So that's the next thing we're going to do is get the strings out and string this sucker up. and get ready to play the guitar. Let's go down the end. Okay, we'll start down this end and buff it up a little bit more with the microfiber cloth. And then we'll open the string pack up. And again, these are Diodario Folks nylons. Nice strings. They're pretty. They feel good, they look good, they sound good. If anybody cares. They're labeled so you can't screw it up. So we've got the E string. And it's got a nice metal ball. Now you can buy other strings that have different tensions and strength and yada yada yada. And you can tie the ends if you're so enthused. But it's really a pain in the neck. This ball and string thing, I think, is the greatest thing since sliced bread. So we've got to get the string to pop up. It's the simplest things that make you crazy. There, so we'll cheat. We got a little help. Alright, so there's the ball end. And maybe we'll place them all first and then or to classically Flamenco. Well, that one was much better. See? That's how it should go. So anyway, I'll be back in a minute. Okay? Okay, we're stringing up. I forgot to bring you guys back in. I put the first string in already. I've got these all aimed up at like a 45-degree angle. I learned this from the Martin guy on Martin on a video about how you string up classical guitars. So we'll bring this up. We're going to loop it around from the outside and bring this back around with some looseness there. Bring this back through the loop and bring it down tight. And so that's going to hold there. Then we're going to cut off the string. Then we're going to use the winder to get this string started. We're going to wind it to the outside. Is that right? I think we want to wind it to the inside. Okay. And so that'll hold. So that's the second string in. Then we're going to get the third string and do the same thing. So we got one to go. All right, and I like these strings because I think they look better for one thing. I've got a string dangling here. I'm going to cut this off. So we'll push this through and try to get it to come right back up again on the other side, which isn't so easy, so we'll let it go by, and then we'll bring it up. And then this one will go around from the inside and then put it through the hole, put it through the loop, not the hole, and then snug it down. And that'll wind to the inside. And then we'll cut off a big chunk of the end. We'll get our super duper automatic winder. And we'll wind this to the inside. Catch the string coming around. Get it over in the right slot. Alright, and then nobody's kind of interfering with each other. So that's how we place the strings. The next thing we're going to do is tune this up to pitch, and it's going to stretch like crazy for a while here. So we can kind of pre-stretch the strings. We'll give them a tug. We're down here. We'll just lift them and give them a pull. as we start to get ready to tune, because they're going to all stretch like crazy. So I'm going to tune this up and I'll get back to you in a second. But that gives you a good look at the finished piece now, and I think this come out really nice. I really do, even if I do say so myself. And I like these silver and black strings. I like the artwork we've done on the body. Looks good. Serge, you got a beautiful guitar. You're welcome. All right, let's give this guitar a little bit of a play and see how it sounds. So here we go. Completed. They say everything can be replaced. They say every distance is not near. But I remember every face of every man that put me here. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, I shall be relieved. Nice, very nice. The action is really nice. It's nice and low. The strings are beautiful. The guitar is beautiful. The electronics are beautiful. You're going to like this a lot, Serge. Telephone, telephone, telephone. We'll get to the phone. And there's the final. A real good look at the whole guitar. I think that's pretty cool.